Hi, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Here we are today doing the Bulimba Heritage Trail. There is 10 different locations along this trail, all on Oxford Street. So we got the Ferry Terminal as the first one, Cottage, Yellowley's Newsagency, Bulimba Hotel, Avro Drome, Bulimba United Church, the site of Bulimba's police station, Bulimba School, St John's Baptist Anglican Church, and Bulimba Memorial Park. So we start here at the Bulimba Ferry Terminal here. The Bulimba Heritage Trail takes you on a walk through the history and discover the buildings and monuments that have shaped the local area from the 1920s, the ferry terminal, to the information about air raid threats during World War II. There are 10 points of interest along the route. Start and finish the trail on Bulimba's Oxford Street, following the heritage parks along the way. The first one here is Bulimba Ferry Terminal. Early officially ferry service began in 1844 between Customs House and Kangaroo Point. By 1880s, the Bulimba ferry service was well established. Ferries have been an important means of crossing the river since the colony was opened for free settlement in the early 1840s. In the 20th century, the Balmoral Shire Council saw the need for construction of a new ferry terminal. The council wanted the design to be a high quality and reflect the important role that the ferry played in the district. So this is the first stop. I did do a video about it, so if you want to or need to, go check it out. They're redoing the Bulimba one and the Hawthorn one. There's more information about the Bulimba ferry terminal on my other video. Please go check it out. There is another park up here. This talks about the actual ferry terminal. So this is number one. Okay, so we're heading up that way. I'm going to pause it until we get to the next one. Okay, here we are at Cottage. As you can see, this is the number 2 one. The cottage was built in the late 1870s, and is an example of the way many of the early houses in the area would have looked like at this time. With the grand residence Bulimba House on the top of the hill overlooking the district, and the majority of modest houses of the working class at the base of the hill. Bulimba followed a pattern of development common in Brisbane in the period. That is, the wealthier residents bought the land on rises and apexes of the hills, ensuring breezes, views, protection from the flooding, and protection from waste runoff. The less wealthy purchased land on the base of the hill. So this is the cottage here. It's a private residence, so you can't go in, but you can look from the outside. It looks pretty cool. We can have a look inside. It's got the old chimney there as well. So these are the typical houses back in the 1870s that would have been around. And because like the ferry terminal is just down there, so it's up higher away from the river, so they didn't have any problem of flooding. Whereas the rest of them that would have been built down along the river would have been flooded out really easily. Okay, so we're moving on to the next one, which should just be down just a little way down there. I'll just pause it until we get to the next one. Okay, this is the third one. This is Yellowley's Newsagency. Well, it was. It's now a Thai restaurant, which is a shame. Let's see. This is what it looks like up on the side. Okay, so this traditional corner shop was built from 1918 for George Yellowley, and was originally established as a newsagent and a government savings bank. At the same time, Yellowley was establishing his business in Oxford Street, Bulimba. Became one of the few areas in Queensland where the state butcher shop was established. State butcher shops were established in Queensland by the Queensland Labor government as a means of influencing prices of household staples such as meat and sugar. 90 state butchers were established in Queensland between 1915 and 1929. But the state butchers as a whole were a drain on state's economy, losing £6,000 during the 14 years that they were operational. So this is what it used to look like. And that one. I know you probably can't see it properly, but that's what it used to look like. On to the next one, and I'll pause it until we get to it. Okay, here we are at Bulimba Memorial Park. It's number 10 on the list, but it's 4 going up the road. Again, I've done a video about this park, so if you want to, please go check it out. Okay, so Bulimba Memorial Park, the land on which the park now sits was initially a part of a farm owned by the early Bulimba resident Robert Jamieson. In 1904, Balmoral Shire Council acquired it, almost 4 acres of land to be used as recreational purposes. That was known as Jamieson Park. In the First World War, had a profound effect on lives of Bulimba residents. Many lost loved ones in the conflict. As a reflection of the grief experienced in the community, the park was designated as the Bulimba Memorial Park on the 4th of November 1919 to honour those from the district who served overseas, many of whom did not return. Bulimba took part in an important social housing movement at the end of the First World War, with the construction of 5 Anzac cottages. The Anzac cottages Cottage Trust was established in Queensland in 1915, an effort to cease the hardship experienced by widows and children of the soldiers and sailors killed in the First War. 38 Anzac cottages were built in various suburbs in Brisbane. There were 2 cottages constructed beside the park on Stewart Street, which I think was around here. So it was either where that building is on the corner, or it was right here on the corner. So there's a little sign about the honouring of the servicemen and women of Bulimba. Talks about the weeping pigs. And the park officially opened up on the 1st of November 1919 and was named Bulimba Soldier and Sailors Memorial Park. So yeah, I did do a video about this park. Please go check it out if you haven't already. So as a big truck goes past. Okay, so now we're on to the next one, so I'll pause until we get to it. Okay, here we are at the Bulimba Hotel. It says it's 4, so it's 5th or minus. So I'm guessing that's where it was, or some of it. And now it's a whole new building. Okay. At Bulimba Hotel, later called Balmoral, was built in 1888. It was designed by Richard Daly. He also built the Regatta Hotel, the Oriental, the Prince Consort Hotel, the Jubilee, the Wickham Hotel, and the Empire Hotel. Hotel was always a working man's hotel, frequented by local industrial workers, waterside workers, fishermen, and farmers. And now they've torn it down by the looks of it and put a restaurant or cafe here. I'm not sure. Oh, it's still it's a pub. It's a pub now, so yeah. Alright, there's not much else about it. It's pretty much what I've said in here. But that's what it used to look like there. And that one. So, this is halfway mark. So tell me, which country are you from? Are you from, I don't know, where? Just put down in the comments just the country that you're from. I'm curious on who's watching and where from. I don't want your address or anything like that. I just want the country. I'm curious on where you guys are from that are watching this video. So we're on to the next one. I'll pause until we get to it. Okay, here we are at the next Heritage Trail. This is the Avro Picture Dome. The Avro Picture Dome was built in 1920 by Henry Thomas. It was one of the many suburb picture theatres rapidly appearing throughout Brisbane at the time. In 1920, a new addition to Oxford Street was the Avro Picture Drome, run by Henry. There was evidence that the picture show operated in a paddock in Oxford Street from around 1912. the Avro was built beside Henry's Cottage and Motor Works. In 1954, a foyer and 4 shops were added, and going by this picture, changed their name to Balmoral Complex. Cineplex, sorry. So, have a quick look in here. Everything's probably changed. It's not too much change, maybe. Oh, the smell of popcorn is really amazing. So we've got the doors, the cafe there. Maybe most of the original version is still here. Going by the doors. Maybe most of it stayed. But yeah, so that was the Avro picture dome. Now the Balmoral Cinema, which is just up from the hotel there. Yeah, so we're on to the next one. Just saw this. I'm thinking maybe this was like maybe a tram stop. If they had trams up here, maybe. I'm not sure, but it looks pretty cool. Unless it's for the restaurant there, maybe. I don't know. We'll keep going. Right, this is the next one. It's St. John Baptist Anglican Church. This church was established in 1888 as a result of a strong community support and donation. It was designed by John Buckridge. It is located at 179 Oxford Street. I'm not sure where the little plaque is. I thought it would have been around here. Maybe it's around the other side. So it is a old church. I'm not seeing it. Wow, unless it's inside, maybe? Question mark? But it looks pretty old. Yeah, I'm just not seeing the little plaque. So we'll try past this. Maybe it's inside. Wow, you've got to pay parking ticket? Wow. That seems a bit dodgy. Oh, at least it's not too bad. But still, I do have some of the windows. Yeah, but that's the center. But there's no plaque here. Oh, that's a shame. Unless it's inside. There's nothing there. Nothing here either. Oh well. We'll move on to the next one. There's only 3 more to go. So this was St. John Baptist Anglican Church, or John the Baptist. It looks alright. Good church, I guess. I mean, I'm not religious, so I've seen better churches. But yeah. I don't know where the plaque is for this one. It's not anywhere around here unless it's down here. No, but it is part of the Heritage Trail. Oh, move on to the next one. So I'll pause until we get there. Okay, here we are at the next one. This is Bulimba Uniting Church. It's located at 216 Oxford Street. It's a Victorian era, built between 1860 and 1890. The style was a carpenter Gothic. This remarkable timber church was the first church to be built in the district and was an important local landmark. It was constructed in 1866 as a primitive Methodist church. There is a plaque up here, which is here. So it's not a bad church, I guess. It looks a lot like the other one down there. I sort of see in there, but not properly. Not bad church, I guess, for a church. There's a car park here. I'm not sure, you can't see it properly here. Let me try it this way. See if I can get it shot on it out the sun. There we go. Side of it. And then you got a little garden up here. That's alright. We can walk around to the next one because it's right next door to the church. And we're still on Oxford Street. That turns into Letton Road. But just up here is a site for the next one. There's a ramp that goes up that way. Oh, there's a grave up there. I'm guessing it was a father or pastor or whatever they're called. And then more hills. There's parks up here as well. Oh, there's a few trees here. Okay. That's interesting. With some more reverends. Archibald. Okay, so these are people that either work in the church or have some kind of connection to the church.
What about my side?
And there's a grave here. towards.
You make yourself.
And then there's that up there.
But if you want money, I don't have any money. There's all money different job I think. Listen. And that's not
And
because
this boxes.
I don't know. If you want to finish half of
Okay,
the
so yeah, I'm just kind of lazy. So I didn't Okay, so the next one is right just next door, which there's no building there now, which is a shame. Okay. So that was the church. This one now is the site of the Bulimba police station. It's there. Okay. Site of the Bulimba police station in 1886, the police station was established for Bulimba in a rented house. In 1888, it was then moved to another rented house. Was one of the most vulnerable areas in Brisbane to the Japanese air attacks during the Second World War. The intense wartime activity along the river between New Farm and Hamilton, as well as American presence on Apollo barge assembly. Assembly depot highlighted the precautions position of the suburbs. The role of the Bulimba police at this time was essential for safekeeping for the Bulimba community, as well as carrying out the usual tasks. Police were in charge of maintaining, recruiting, and training the air raid warden unit, essential to maintaining the safety of the community if it was bombed. The police were responsible for receiving and transmission of information related to air raids from the Defence Information Centre. Petrol rations were also under police control. Several air raid shelters were constructed in the area. Split trenches were also dug, especially at the Bulimba State School. The police and air raid wardens also conducted blackouts and drills. Luckily, Brisbane never experienced an enemy air raid before. So the police station is just up there, and that's pretty much it. But we got one more stop, which is just over there, but I will pause it until I get there, and that'll be our last one on the list. I just found this. It's the Shire of Balmoral. I don't know if you can read it. It's really hard to see. But I thought this was a little bit interesting. It's right outside the Bulimba Library. There should have been something there, I guess. And then, we've got something here. In honour of men and women who served Australia during the conflict during World War 1942, 1939 to 1945. Let's read that. There's a little memorial. People that served in the war. Alright, going to the next one now. Okay, here we are at the final Heritage Trail location. This is Bulimba State School. It's on top of the mountain. Boy, it was really hard to get up here. Okay, it is located at 261 Oxford Street. Bulimba State School opened up in 1866 with the enrollment of only 28 students from 19 different families. By 1867, this had risen to 40 students. It's the most schools in the later 19th and into the 20th century. Arbor Day was an important day on the school calendar. Traditionally, the Arbor Day started in America in 1872. The first Arbor Day was held in Queensland on the 1st of August 1890 and was proposed by Philip McMahon, a curator of Brisbane's Botanical Gardens, and he distributed 2,496 trees obtained from the Botanical Gardens. So this is the final stop. That's all the information at the time about the school. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel as it comes out. Hit that like button. It'll show YouTube that you enjoyed the video. There is a little Wentworth Parade wall here. It was built in 1937. Just gives you a little bit of information, and this is the wall. Looks like it needs a bit of a touch up, but yeah, it goes all the way down there, and I guess it goes all the way down around the back, around there. But this is it for this video. This is nice house. That one, that would be pretty cool. You got a little gazebo attached to the veranda. You can see the Brisbane River from here. It's high up, so it wouldn't get flooded. Looks pretty cool. Good views. I like that house, but it's so cool. That's what some of the houses used to look like. And it goes all the way down there. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for hitting that like button and subscribe button. I do appreciate everyone for doing that. So until next time, fellow travellers, have a good one.